and whatnot. And I think, first of all, I think mid lane has no S tier picks where it's like, pick this and you win the game. Like, old Soraka's gone. Right, like, there's good Yasuo players out there. There's good Kayle players out there.
They ban a lot of those things. They're like Kayle, Yasuo, LeBlanc, Caston. You just ban those away.
I mean, and they're good champs, but like, I don't think there's, like, in my opinion, there's no like auto lock mid laner compared to, I think the other roles actually have like more obvious tier lists. Like, if I see first pick Lulu, I'm like, okay, sure, whatever, right? I see first pick Jackson, I'm like, got to deal with this guy.
Yes.
And then on the other side of that one, when you're like, okay, well, they picked a Jax, like they first pick with no other top lane bans, and then you're going to be like, great, we'll counter pick and go even against a Jax. Like, that's not a good.
You don't go even
either.
versus Jax.
You better not, or you're going to lose the game. So I think those are two things that I hope to see fixed on Gamers 2's side. Is those solo lanes I think need to pull more weight when they get the opportunity to when they get like prime placement in champ select.
Like, what could have happened if they ended up going Braum with Lee Sin in their first one, or Braum with Twitch?
Yeah.
Like, now they leave a lot open, and Yuki, he's hovering over the Lucian right now. Twitch is not banned out, so that'll be picked up by Freeze if that is left open, and they can wait a long time to show that. And they put such a high priority on that Lulu's, what it's looking like.
Ocelot really wants a champion, but really they haven't banned out Exile, so...
LeBlanc's still up right
True.
now, because they ended up going with the ban onto Aurelia instead.
Yeah. I'm surprised at first pick AD carry right now. So I know they banned Lucian away from Freeze, and to be fair, like, they still went equal in lane, right? So like, you know, they managed to keep Freeze and Voidal from dominating lane. Like, maybe that's the expectation that you know, Gamers 2 strat is like, look, Ocelot and JL win us the game. Just go even against Freeze and Voidal.
Yes.
And to be fair, they did that. That's your goal, though. It's really scary in general to me. But now Lulu does go over to NIP, so a higher priority pick all the same. Braum still goes to Voidal here, and the rest of his picks are still available.
You have, in that situation, you have to pick Braum, because you can't let Braum be paired with Lucian because of the Lightslinger passive.
Yeah.
So they basically baited him into the Braum here. Don't know what Gamers 2 had in mind, because otherwise they would have picked the Braum first and said, okay, you can get Lucian or Twitch. That's fine with us. We'll get the other one.
Yeah. I am surprised to see the first pick AD carry, though, with those two both available. I'm confused at Gamers 2 pick rate right here, but we'll see what else pays out for them. Right now, 24 seconds to go until the next champions come up. Of course, Lee Sin joins the ban list instead of being picked up by Gamers 2. Right. So Borden loses his favorite jungler, but at least they still keep away from Ko. Now, if Eve gets picked up, no. So it's, again, Gamers 2 have these early picks of champs that NIP wasn't going to play in the first place. And I'm very intrigued by their pick and ban process.
It's a little concerning at this point. You don't need to pick the Shyvana up. That's most likely...
This one I do at least like.
It's most likely a top lane Lulu for Alex H. He loves Lulu in the top lane to bully people. The only thing in top lane that can deal with Lulu currently is Kayle. That's banned out. It's the only thing out of the meta top lane champions that works. Ryze, not so much. Aurelia's out of there. It's big, and yeah, I think they're going to go with the LeBlanc here for Exile. He loves that type of champion. He's basically got the same champion pool as Nuke Duck minus the Fizz.
Right, so it's going to be there. Also, the Jungle Jarvan going to come through for Ninjas and Pyjamas. They saved their AD carry for the last pick. Interesting to see Jarvan here with Evelynn still available, but that's the play here.
Yeah, that's what he's going to go for. Elise Sin off the table. Doesn't want to pick Evelynn into Elise, because Elise's level 3 power is so good, and she will just counter jungle you all day long. And she doesn't take any damage from it. And Elise gets tanky, but she naturally, and you can't deal with her later as Evelynn. So when you pick J4, the fact that Elise gets tanky early on but doesn't build a lot of resistances at first, you can chunk her down with your passive Martial Cadence.
Cool. Well, we're going to see how that matchup play out here. We haven't seen a lot of Jarvan in the recent past. We see him occasionally, but...
Saw him about once or twice.
Yeah.
I think at 4.9, he's definitely the top 4. I think that since Kha'Zix got knocked down a little bit, J4 has taken his spot in the top 4. For a lot of reasons. Buffed his shield, cost less mana.
Yeah.
The fact that his Martial Cadence is now more front-end bursty.
Yeah, he's got really good trading in the jungle. You mentioned that one. I actually agree. It's a really good way of like, hey, Lee Sin, get out of my jungle.
Yes.
And that's going to work out. Well, Nidalee comes through, though. Interestingly enough, though, they're already fighting Engage with Jarvan and Lulu here in the lineup. So I think you've got to be really good at Nidalee if you want to make that one happen. So top Shyvana, Nidalee here for Ocelot. Now last pick for Ninjas and Pyjamas. Why not Twitch? It worked last time.
Yeah, that's basically the go-to here. Lucian taken away. Freeze had an amazing performance on that. They're going to go with the tried and true bottom lane that they used last time. And NIP, once again, they seem to come up pretty big in champion select here. Gamers 2, his composition is basically try to bully Freeze in lane with Lucian, Don't know how well you can do it with Voidal at his side on Braum. But then you need Ocelot to just poke. But there's so much engage.
You know what? I actually like the Gamers 2 bot lane versus, like, as far as the matchup goes.
Yeah, the bottom lane, yes.
Because most of what Braum does actually nullified by the champions picked.
Yeah.
Lucian Q goes through him anyway. His ulti and W both gonna hit his face regardless. So it's like you're not getting extra value out of the Unbreakable. And then on top of that, like, again, hooks will still get blocked, but you can still flay the guy because Flay's gonna spawn from the back regardless. So you actually get around a lot of what Voidal would do by picking this roster of Gamers 2. So I think this is a nice initial setup. And then it's how well can you get to the backline? How well can you do with Ocelot? Yeah. Or how well can you do with Twitch? You've both got explosive backlines.
Yeah, and of course, he'll try to get onto Ocelot, go ahead and Cataclysm, but, little jumps straight over it with the pounce.
Potentially.
Then you also have the silence from LeBlanc currently still. So there's a lot here for NIP to use. And you can even just jump in there, use the Wild Growth on the Jarvan, and then polymorph whoever he's on. Like, there's a lot of options here for NIP to execute what they want in this game, whereas Gamers 2, they're pretty committed to just one strategy.
Yep.
They're committed to bully bottom lane. If that doesn't work out, then Ocelot is going to have to carry us with poke later.
Yeah.
Hopefully one of those sets them up for victory.
They got to hope real hard, though, because the thing about a poke team is it really depends on, do your opponents have an answer to the team. So one thing I actually really liked was Gambit's game against Alliance, where they're fighting this sort of kitey disengaged team with like a Nivea Cog or whatever. Mm-hmm. But they've got an Italy, which means you've got a disengaged team fighting a poke comp, which is great for the poke comp. You're like,
yes, it is.
Great, run away from spear is wonderful. And like Gambit played this slow, controlled, exactly, right? And Gambit played this slow, controlled, super smart game where there were no tools for Alliance to turn this game around. This side, though, also has got his javelins, and, well, NIP have engaged. They've got Jarvan, Braum, and Lulu to start fights out, so suddenly there is a pattern to get back in the game. Whereas that's why playing just Peel for Twitch isn't always the best. It's, well, we have ways in because you might play a disengaged team as well.
Yeah, a great thing with Twitch isn't protect the Twitch comp. It's more have other threats besides Twitch.
Group people together, lock them down, and then Twitch can go shoot them from afar.
Hey, Jarvan's great at that one.
Yes, he is.
But also at the same time, you're going to have Alex each top Lulu. You're going to have this LeBlanc that's going to come up big. And the fact that even if their main target is Freeze, Voidal's more than enough to just keep him safe with Unbreakable and give him extra resistances with his stand behind me.
Yeah. It's going to work really well. I'm actually very much liking it.
There's so many threats on NIP. Whereas Gamers 2, you take out Ocelot, you cripple the entire team.
Yeah, absolutely. And Voidal can also take some javelins. There's like a couple little individual things that can happen, but we're going to see how the early game playmaking goes. Thresh Lucian is a great dual lane. Elise is a phenomenally strong early game jungler. And of course, you always have the teleport playmaking. So Gamers 2,
like anything
do
have
the tools. Yeah. We're painting a bleak scenario because NIP was so strong game 1, but
well, also
definitely
the champion select again.
Like, great.
They had a great drafting phase. But of course, anything can happen, and we're going to have to see what happens here. The win conditions, there are some for Gamers 2, but can NIP shut them down?
See if they can find it right now. Gamers 2 taking the slow route to their blue buff. The delayed invade by Ninjas in Pyjamas do buy them about 12 seconds out of Gamers 2's sort of jungle route there. Alex and co are going to share some experience there. They're going to look to... Are they counter-jungling or are they going to clear the full camp?
What they're ending up doing is they're splitting experience because it's a 2-on-1. Basically, we're 2-on-0 right now, and they're going for the 4v0 split push here because Yuki and Dude decided we got stomped last game, we're going to go top.
Yep.
Even with the favorable matchup for themselves.
Interesting situation, though. Gamers 2, I feel like they're less practiced. The common way right now at the top tier to play 2v0s is the jungler gets full experience of the buff monster, which guarantees level 2 after the first camp. This didn't happen for G2, so they're actually missing out on a level on their initial couple of clears, which means they're missing out on a spell as they go through their first couple of camps, slowing their clear speed. Yep. Whereas NIP have a bit more damage through. They're actually a full camp ahead right now of the clear speed against Gamers 2, which means it's just golden experience NIP have that G2 doesn't. They are both full clearing the jungle, though, because they expect to stay on this side of the map. Now, will Gamers 2 actually go for a turret push here? They're right here if they want it.
No.
And they want to freeze.
Meta's to freeze this. And they're going to go ahead and do that. And now there's just more roaming of the jungle by NIP, but NIP's jungle's gone.
Oh, look at this though by NIP. This is smart. They're leaving Twitch to solo down in the bottom lane, whereas the rest of NIP are actually going to group up and defend this top lane. So they're actually going to get more experience and gold than Gamers 2 will.
Yeah, and they're going to get it onto Freeze, who carried them last game pretty hard in the early.
There's TP JWoww.
Yeah, so here's the thing is you force the teleport from your top laner, and all AD carries will beat top laners currently in a one-on-one situation before level 6.
The difficulty, though, and we saw this actually in the LCS, is how well can you gank. So we actually, like, I literally saw it was either a Twitch or a Kog'Maw just get ganked by a TF. As soon as he levels 6, he just showed up with the top laner. It's like, oh, well, you're dead. And there is actual risk here for the Twitch. If Elise shows up, and she's looking right now,
there's more gank assistance from bruisers than there are AD carries.
Potentially. Well, we're going to see if the Cocoon can land. Sneaks in behind. Freeze does have stealth, so how well can he play this one? Starts the stealth. Damage comes through. Not going to land Cocoon.
Just ambushes away.
He's far away. No Cocoon lands here. So JWoww stays safe, but like now that escape's down for a few seconds, and Freeze always has to be afraid of that.
Ooh, Ocelot getting some nice spears on the Exile. Pops the clone. 2 LeBlancs, what is this?
That's normal, though. We expect that. Ko gets through, jumps over the Dragon Pit, did get spotted by Tribrush Ward anyway, but he wants to counter jungle. Of course, they saw Morden at the bottom side on Elise, so gonna get a couple of camps here.
Fun thing, too, is that because the Jarvan's Martial Cadence is now front-end loaded, you can counter jungle a little faster, because before you wouldn't... You're not
get
gonna
one proc anyway.
You get 1 proc, you're not going to get 2.
Cool. Yep, all little
just
things.
These little nuances that make a champion better.
Yeah. Sometimes you just realize something.
Or make them worse, because when we reduced the width of his EQ knockup combo, people kind of ditched him.
Yeah. It's harder to land. You get used to like a certain size. Like it's, I mean, it's definitely going to throw people off for a short time. I mean, how many fail flashes did you have when we reduced flash range, right? Like,
people how many fail flashes do I still have?
Oh, that's true. I had one yesterday. I felt really bad about it.
Oh, Morden looking for something here, but look at that. He's going to get chained. And EQ.
He's okay, but Ko is around. Look at that. Damage comes through the flash. Engage, but Exile. Oh, he's got to be careful. Ignite is on. That should be enough damage. That is first blood. Well done, Ninjas in Pyjamas, forcing it. Just dealing all the damage, and it works out.
Oh, Exile still got Cocoon, but blew his Ignite. The heal came out from Ocelot to try and save Morden, but it was enough. And now they're going to go ahead and push this wave up as fast as they can. Go find something else for themselves after they back.
Oh, Ninjas in Pyjamas already looking really good. The gank forced by Jarvan. It is a happy thing right here. And look at this. We've swapped back to fairly normal lanes at this point. You're seeing Freeze and Voidal back reunited in this bottom lane. Worked so well last time. And you can see JWoww's not having the best time of this.
Oh, not at all. And now there's a stun available for the Twitch. Alex Each is going to have to duel out Yuki, despite Lulu being a little different than typical top lane bruisers. Still struggles against AD carries at the start of the game.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of times you also don't tend to run armor seals on even top lane mages, unless you're fighting a Renekton kind of guy. Health per level is still the standard, so you do have the bully potential from Yuki here. And of course, you see triple Dorans for Alex. This does sometimes hurt your warding ability because you run out of item slots really fast. So we might see a lower contribution there from Alex as the time goes on. Right now, though, without boots, it's not a big problem, but we'll see.
Right now, his contribution to the team is just holding that top lane.
Yeah.
As long as you don't die, you're good to go.
But it does mean you won't have teleport until 10 minutes, which means there's the chance, actually, that Gamers 2 can just make a big play for Dragon.
Ko's sitting around waiting for this blue buff to come up. And it's not going to come up for actually a while now, because he actually started red on Elise. Yeah,
he got pushed around, so it's about 10 seconds delayed right here. They only started it about this time 5 minutes ago. So Ward's going to grab his own red. Gets that pretty successfully. There we go. Ko does start with his blue buff. Of course, he had ward coverage already. Yuki's going to check him, though. He's going to rely on a good smite. He gets it. And I don't think there's any real danger here for him.
That's right, because they delayed it by about 12 seconds, you're right. Because they started at their red.
Yep.
Ended up getting it. NIP to Gamers 2 red.
I'm really surprised that they counter jungled that because...
Morden's seen.
Yeah?
He's walked straight by a pink ward.
Oh.
So did Dude.
Okay, well they know about the numbers here. We do have Ko waiting around on the wings, but he'll walk on a ward as well as he waits for this.
But here comes Voidal from the side, too. They might try to flank them. Because as soon as Voidal gets there, they have potential for catch.
And Ocelot shows that he saw him, so they're going to force that away. But Voidal's going to go in.
Oh.
How about the rest? Here comes a 3-on-3. The repel into the air. Can they make this all happen? Looks like the disengage right here. But Ko goes in for the ground slam and everything. And now can they find Dude? Now good damage comes through. Forced to flash the wall. Chains come out from Exile. Doesn't stay for this one, though, and looks like a disengage on all sides.
Trade back and forth there. The chain actually worked against Dude there because he pulled Voidal through the Cataclysm into it.
Yeah, that was...
He was able to get the passive stacks on.
Oh, wow, that's pretty unfortunate for this one. Yuki, though, putting some good damage down on towards Alex Itch. You're seeing, again, difficult matchup. Force him to run away.
Yeah. Culling still available. Wild Growth still available.
Oh, my God.
Ooh.
He could
flash in for it.
There's wild growth still.
But
And
yeah.
that's going to land really quickly. So, I mean, if there's bad reflexes, Alex is going to lose that fight. But he should survive. But it's still, I mean, you see how bad that is.
They want to get this blue, but Ocelot's off on the side, has the ward coverage to throw in and poke down Ko, poke down Exile, and possibly steal it. Oh, they sweep it out.
He's going to have to face tank the Javelin. Ko's got to walk on the other side of this.
If he face tanks it, though, it's too big.
All right, well, they got the blue buff.
Oh,
though.
he gets
Ko,
caught.
He's got to be a bit careful here. Maybe Elise comes in for this one as well. Big burst comes out, and Ko goes down. Nicely done, Gamers, too. Identifying that one. Alex Ich, though, still trying to survive Yuki, but a lot of damage comes through. It's 100 damage per auto attack. Kulling comes in. He's landing all of the bolts. Oh, that was one shot away from killing Alex Ich.
He doesn't have teleport. He's going to have to walk back to this lane. Meanwhile, Gamers 2, they're going to get themselves a dragon here, and they've been using Ocelot to contest objectives, and the lane swap that they've been doing has been coming up big for them right now. Yuki comes back, completely bullies Alex out of the lane, and so they knew the teleport wasn't up as well. So they end up getting themselves a dragon and a gold lead by about 500.
So that's very impressive stuff right there. And Yuki's not even that far behind, being in this sort of strange 2-on-2 where he's fighting, you know, two good harassers as a melee champion. So that's pretty impressive. Ko, again, he's already level 6. He's just going to clear his jungle. No big problems. But we do have Gamers 2 holding a 400 gold lead. They look so much better than this first game. They've made great choices there. Their counter jungling has been very effective, actually, right?
Yes.
They know who's around. They know what teleports are up. And they've played a much more calculated game.
Yeah, and the thing here, too, is they end up getting Ko when his escape was down. Jarvan, you want to use your E and Q on camps to clear them as fast as possible, but it's your escape. It's not like a Lee Sin where you don't always W inside of a camp. Sometimes you do use the Iron Will, but Jarvan, you use either your E or your Q.
Oh, big damage comes in. Exile's going to be careful, though. Ocelot wants to show for this one. Chain hits a minion. He's got to be careful. Passive popped as well. Pushed out of the lane. Oh! Ooh, that was close. But the turret's going to take a whole bunch of damage for this one, though. So Gamers 2, they're still being in the right place at the right time. Voidal shows to defend this one, but the turret's still going to keep taking damage, and it's outnumbered. It's a 4 versus 3.
Yeah, it's a 1-3-1 here from NIP, but it's a 4-1 from Gamers 2. They have a numbers advantage here. Alex Ich, he has the teleport. He's coming in onto it. They're going to engage it.
Going for the play, 4v4. The CC going in towards JWoww, but he just simply ults backwards to keep himself safe. Voidal takes some shots as they escape for that one. Shield keeps him in a decent spot as well, so that gets stopped, and Twitch is still getting free farm in the bot lane.
Yep, at 103 CS at 11 minutes. Yuki just a little bit further behind. They're going to get this turret for themselves, and they're going to even up, actually take a gold lead here, despite the dragon going in favor of Gamers 2.
So Freeze, uncontested in the bot lane, gets the turret to go down. Unfortunately, really, we haven't seen that same kind of situation for Yuki. Even despite the teleport out from Alex Ich, he's just not gotten a lot of pressure on that just yet. But maybe we'll see them move back towards it. Of course, the really big thing is the fact that you're seeing a minion lead, kind of across the board now for Ninjas in Pyjamas. Because of how much easier it is for Alex Ich to hold in the lane. Despite getting bullied out, he still can CS. And so there's a gold lead just across these, you know, quote-unquote top laners.
Yeah, despite the CS, the 23 in favor of the Lulu. Lulu Kayle do pretty well when they're in one-on-ones. Like I was saying, they aren't the typical bruiser. They can still CS. But the big thing here is a lot of the team of Gamers 2 is going to invest in magic resist for this reason.
A lot of damage on Ocelot. He's going to go down. Nice pickup right there. Ulti in for Voidal as well. Now Dude going to get stunned up. Big damage coming through, and that's going to be him going down. Excellently played. Ninjas in Pyjamas find the pick.
I was going to say, they're investing in magic resistance, but they kind of need some armor.
Yep.
Because Freeze, he hasn't been in it all game, and he shows up and you're like, oh, you almost have Blade of the Ruined King completed, and rat-tat-tat. Here goes your team. Look at this. Ko's off on the side. This is his style.
Oh, he's going to look for it. Knockup does land on a JWoww, and comes the follow-up as well. Exile's got to be careful, though. He's going to take a turret shot, have to get away from that one, but the damage finally comes through. JWoww falls down to the Contaminate there of Twitch, and they can keep sieging Ninjas in Pyjamas. When they choose to fight, it works so well.
Yeah, how many times have we seen Ko just dive behind turrets and just doesn't care?
Voidal cares.
Voidal should care. Don't know how much he does, though.
Well, he's going to make his way out, but Ko, will he get burned for this one? He's got to be very careful. Flashes, EQ, almost gets the flay. Dude, he actually flayed the wrong direction, though. It was the end of flay instead of the beginning of flay that caught Jarvan.
Gets over the wall anyway and gets himself out. Now a 2k gold advantage to NIP, and they took that red, starving them of buffs as much as they possibly can. Despite Gamers 2 looking in better form this game, still, there's too many threats on NIP.
Freeze have to back off this one. The fact that Gamers2 comes back in to get some good damage down, but Freeze fearless there, goes to half HP, but turret's alive for now.
Yeah, that's the thing that I was talking about in Champion Select too, is that NIP, they can hinge on multiple members. If LeBlanc, if their Twitch does well, if Lulu does well, heck, if J4 does well, he actually can do really well in this meta. For Gamers2, it's pretty much, okay, did Yuki shut down Freeze? Oh, gotta see, look at that.
Dude's taking a bunch of pain though. The wild growth is
so
on,
close.
doesn't quite land the slow, so nothing else picks up there. And Gamers2 do a great job of disengaging. Here comes the teleport in. JWoww, he's gonna find 2 members. Javelin does not quite land, but Ko has to be careful. Voidal helps defend the team as well, blocking some of the damage here on this one. Freeze also trying to do what he can, but they don't get any kills, so Gamers2 again are able to push people around, start the sieges, and not get caught out.
Complete disengage there, trying to use the poke comp and just back up, and they'll get this turret for themselves as reward. But yeah, basically their only strategy was, can Yuki bully Freeze? Well, they lane swap it so that he can go ahead and CS by himself because he was shut down last time and didn't get to full potential. And can Ocelot poke? That's really what this comes down to. And Ocelot isn't coming up too big this game so far.
He's really not. So unfortunately,
he's doing all right.
I mean, he's hitting javelins.
Yes,
right. He's hitting javelins. Right. He got ganked, and he's part of the siege. So we'll see how much more that can pay off. Yuki is getting his farm in. He's 0-0-0, but he's the highest CS in the game. So maybe he can take over the game as well. I mean, he's part of that siege power, right? His Bloodthirster should be done. By the time he backs, it'll be done. Anytime he backs, he'll have it. 100%. He's got enough money for that item. So maybe he'll power up soon. Hook's gonna land into Alex, so this could be a good bit of damage. But dude's got to be careful. He rightly doesn't go in for the kill, knowing he's outnumbered on that one.
And Freeze off to a great start again. Very reminiscent of the last game. But he got solo farm, solo experience. Sitting at about 110. He's now 27 CS behind Yuki, but he's 2-0-1. He's going for the assassination Twitch again. Now he's becoming more of a team player. Yuki's actually overtaken him in levels.
Oh, he's doing a good job of that one. Level 10 now on this Lucian is a big deal. Voidal stays safe. And I want to see what the move is. Gamer2, they are a siege composition. They are going to take some very obvious moves there and try to keep pushing their pressure. We're seeing good damage come through. Dude, though, has got to be in the wrong spot. The root's going to land. Exhaust there onto Freeze. Some good damage. Hook's going to land onto Exile. Gets into the box there. JWoww knocked up into the air. Still does not use Dragon Form. There he goes. Goes to disengage. Exile takes a lot of damage, but he stays safe. Ooh, the ulti hits from Voidal, and Morden's got to be careful. Nice culling. Nice javelins. Freeze running out of health. They're going to chase back in. Gamers2 not afraid of this fight. Flash in. Lucian puts so much damage down. Freeze can't quite take enough damage to fall down, but this does give control to Gamers2. They lose a champion, but they gain a turret.
So there's actually a big thing here with Braum, where if you're trying to disengage in Italy, he just holds the front as you retreat. And then he can get himself out too with Stand Behind Me. And now Ko, he's trying to look and contest this dragon. They have a lot of options here for NIP, but now if Gamers2 get this, because they got that extra turret, they're going to be able to have a gold lead. What can Ko say about it?
Well, they're on a short timer. Ko wants this one. EQ's
he tried it.
That was a nice attempt. I like that, though, but just couldn't quite get the damage down. But now Ko goes in for the fight anyway. He wants his battle because he got flanked, and unfortunately, that's not going to mean much for him. So a kill and a dragon go to Gamers2, putting the game back to 800 for them.
Cheeky little attempt there to go over that side of the wall. You can do that with Zac, you can do that with J4 and get a smite. Exile, he's going after Dude right now. Here's Freeze. He has Rat-Tat-Tat.
The flash in, the glitter lance, the damage comes through. Freeze picks up the kill. He is 4-0-1. NIP's game rests on him. This is the only person that's actually doing super well right now on the NIP lineup. Otherwise, the global gold is making their life so difficult.
Yeah, Exile is actually doing pretty well for himself too in the kill department. And
yeah,
like, but they have multiple threats still is the big thing. Like, wow, actually in gold, it's all Yuki right now for Gamers2. So they've actually done a great job there. And Ocelot, because he's in Italy, he just scales naturally off of whatever items he gets. It's just a huge power spike. Every time Nidalee backs, it's like, all right, got more AP, multiplicative off my spear range.
Yeah, that's so impressive as well to see that Gamers2, you know, NIP are good at picking fights, right? They picked Engage, they got the Jarvan, they got the Braum, they got the Lulu. They're getting kills, but Gamers2 are actually playing the objective game better. And this is such a good turnaround by them, that they looked so lost and so outplayed in game one, but they're making such good choices here. And yeah, it's like, oh, it's a 4-0 Twitch, he must be massive. But no, there's so much global gold.
Yeah.
Yuki's been part of all those turret kills. He's gotten a bunch of money from those and from CSing. These AD carries are still both massive. The mid laners, despite 2-0-3 versus 0-1-1, both mid laners are really big. Gamers2 have the gold right there on the right people.
Which is everyone.
Pretty much.
And Yuki. Everyone in Yuki, and now hook on a Voidal. He got hit by a spear.
That is not good for him, but he gets Lulu ult. He's going to back out with stand behind me as well. Puts a slow down. He stays safe, but does not think they wanted.
He's looking for an assassination. Still has rat-tat-tat.
Jaywa's got an ulti away. He's going to do that. He stays safe, but it's still the spell burned. And the culling dealing massive damage. Freeze. Every time he goes for something, someone hits him back.
Yeah, and Yuki is now dealing with Freeze at this point in the game, being that extra level up. That was a rank 2 culling.
Yeah.
Big part of the damage that came out. Now they're sieging the top lane, trying to get that last outer turret for themselves for NIP and put the pressure on again. But Yuki with the double buffs and all that gold in his inventory has something to say about this.
Well, let's see what they're going to get with this one then. Let's see.
At this point in the game last time, it was 8 minutes before NIP clutched victory, and they had a huge lead with Alex's split push.
Yeah.
Alex is becoming more of a team fighter right now, showing up and being with the team at the start instead of pushing against Shyvana.
At this
And
point,
now
yeah.
they're looking for a pick.
Uh-oh, Gamers 2. All right, well, ooh, he didn't see it. He didn't see Jarvan in that brush right there. It's still just Alex Ich. But Yuki's not really taking the bait. The lane's still pushing up, though, so it could very quickly be a good kind of fight there. Braum still coming across. Morden, I don't believe he saw anyone. That one does not quite get the knock-up. Yuki stays safe. Hook's also going to be dodged away. Everyone's playing that fight very well.
That was really cute.
Yeah,
Ko was trying to get him while he was in transit on the Thresh Express.
Look how well Gamers 2 are playing as well. You've got a 4-0 Twitch, constantly looking for these stealth ganks, and the last 2 or 3 times I've seen it stymied very successfully, where, you know, Ocelot backs away, hits a javelin to his face, runs away for that one.
Yeah, he had
Jaywa burns an ulti, no big deal.
Exactly. They're getting the ward coverage with the pinks that they need in the spots that they need them, as well as the greens in the places that they know NIP are going to be coming in from. Because he was seen by that pink ward that's off in that bush that was not cleared by NIP at all, even after Freeze saw that.
So another question is, what's next for these guys, right? Because I gotta, you know, I'm kind of thinking about the way these comps work, and it's like, Ninjas and Pyjamas, they are a 2-threat team. They have 2 major damage sources. LeBlanc is all burst and no sustain. Lulu is just gonna be a tank helper. And then it's just Freeze. It's just Twitch dealing damage. And he's still going for this early game Youmuu's build, where it will fall off super, super, super late when you need more dedicated damage throughout a fight. Gamers 2, they've got Lucian, they've got always useful javelins, and Shyvana is eventually going to do more than a Lulu will. 50 minutes into the game.
It's very standard here from them with the poke comp.
Yeah, and they've got the ways to make the poke work and the ways to disengage. Like, G2's lineup is well-rounded. They're playing this comp very, very well, and the clock is in their favor, actually, I think. NIP have tried to make these plays with the LeBlanc, with the Twitch. They found a couple, but it's since stopped.
We'll have to see. Now they're going after Freeze right now. So, I mean, a late game Twitch is a late game Twitch.
Sure.
And then you have Braum to peel for him, so you can't really do damage to him for the most part.
Yeah.
You'll have to get to it. It's very difficult.
They don't need to get to him. It's a poke comp. Just walk away when he pops ulti, right? Throw javelins when NIP tries to fight. We've so far seen Gamers 2.
Like that?
Yeah. Just do that.
Just like that?
I mean,
Thanks, Ocelot.
It's natural for cats to eat mice, so it's really not a surprise here that Ocelot is not only role-playing another feline, as his name suggests, but...
Let's get shish kebab him and then have Shyvana cook it.
Yep.
Man, look at that team synergy.
Roasted rat. That's yummy. Do spiders eat rats if they're big enough?
I would... oh, don't make me think about big spiders. Come on, freak. What are you doing to me?
And Pastry Time would know. Australia's got some...
Oh, they have some huge spiders there.
Oh, look at this one.
That's why Pastry Time's not around. Huge spiders have it.
The huge spider blocked his visa.
Shelob, what are you doing?
Oh, man.
All right. But yeah, so this rat, he's going for the Youmuu's, but he's actually going for...
Look at that.
Some defensive power now. He buys Megatron Cloak because he's taking so much poke from Nidalee.
But you know what that does, though? Now look at the AD carry itemization. More damage from Yuki, but this top lane, you gotta be careful. Jaywa takes a bunch of pain. Turret does go down. Well done by NEP to grab that one. They managed to finally get the waves under their favor. Their entire team on this side of the map. And they're back to an 800 gold lead here. Dragon is back alive. Baron,
here comes Freeze from the side.
Here comes the attempt. He's going to go in, but he gets stunned up. He gets ruptured as well. A whole bunch happening. And one kill's already gone onto Jaywa, who took a bunch of damage. Voidal just tanks the culling, doesn't really care, but the 1-for-0 happened on the hard engage.
And they got the top laner. He has teleport, so no matter what they do, if they go for Baron right now, it's very, very risky, because there could be a TP straight into it when he revives.
NIP sweep things out. There's actually a ward that spots them. Will go around on this side. Going to kill this one more ward here, keeping them in a decent spot, but still, they got to be careful. The health bars are low. They can't bear it. There's like no way. They can't get some damage.
Trying to 2-chain there. Dragon looks like it'll be the next objective for them, but if they go to it right now, they do have lower HP bars than Gamers 2.
Voidal's at half, and there's actually zero ultimates up for Ninjas in Pyjamas, whereas JWoww still has the Fury for a Dragon form. There's no wards to teleport to yet, but you can drop a Lantern down. The Dragon is started anyway. This is risky for Ninjas in Pyjamas. Voidal is low. Ko is still trying anyway. Wards over the wall, and actually Twitch is sectioned off. He actually can't rejoin his team. They have to back off.
Yeah, he's 60 CS down now under Yuki. Yuki's just been farming all game, and the CS is actually extremely low this game, considering it's a 24-minute game. The only person who's really even close to a good par is Dude, and right now, look at that. They're going after JWoww. He has teleport, he has his Dragon's Descent, and he also has a flash.
Well, he doesn't dodge the chains. He doesn't really dodge the Jarvan either. Has to ulti away. He's going to stay safe for this one, but the re-engage might happen. Problem is, Gamers 2 only have 3 members. If more of NIP turn this fight around, it's 3v5.
Yeah, there's actually nobody even close to them at that point. Freeze pops out. Might have given them a little bit of a numbers.
Yeah. If they kept chasing Ko and overextended, Freeze would have killed them.
Yeah, Freeze would have killed JWoww for sure.
Yeah.
And then maybe they could have delayed in time for Braum. But they forced JWoww back again. The guy with teleport who can still show up to this Dragon fight. Meanwhile, Alex back to his pushing game. It worked last game for NIP. Can it work this game? Now they're going to go after the Dragon and see what they can do.
He's just trying to, just track JWoww away for now. He can at least force someone to head to that top lane pretty soon. It frees up Alex Itch to actually make moves and not have to teleport for them. If you can just get the push, then go somewhere else. That's what he's doing right now. NIP actually still have...
He's going to go for blue.
Yeah, and actually, this is really impressive. Again, he can teleport back down. He's free to do this. He didn't walk by any wards on this way. And NIP know they still have ward control over Baron because they have wards that would watch people go to put wards down. So Gamers 2 are blind on that side of the map. And that's going to keep incurring risk to any moves on that side.
Yeah. He's going to go ahead, get this blue for himself, go top, clear it out, and possibly TP into the fight. We'll have to see.
Meanwhile, Gamers 2 are...
They see Alex top now.
Yeah, but Gamers 2 still isn't a hard engage comp. Like, no matter what, you give time for Alex to come in. Anyway, he actually goes on top of the team, and they're okay letting him do this. And they're going to go back in for Dragon, but now JWoww's on the other side of this fight, and they've got to be careful about how this fight starts. Slow lands on the Yuki. JWoww in the front. He takes a lot of pain, though. You're right. You got to be careful with this one. Voidal on one side puts the knockup down, but big damage comes in from Yuki. Voidal still in the front line, gets the Lulu. He's taking even more damage. Twitch forced away in the back lines, getting what damage down he can. JWoww stays safe, but NIP are the team forced away. Exile does not land the W, and look at that. Gamers 2 have wrested control over the Dragon area. Javelins again forcing NIP away.
It's all that poke and consistent damage the Gamers 2 has brought to the table versus this burst, and also the fact that Yuki got a lot more farm than Freeze. And I talked about it earlier, where that's one of their win conditions is can Lucian just stay ahead of the Twitch? He's making it a nightmare for him, and Ocelot can poke.
Well, it's working
completely out of the fight.
Working absolutely wonderfully. So I gotta hand it to Gamers 2 that this comp is working quite nicely, and realistically, they're not getting punished. The Jarvan engage, the Braum follow-up, the Lulu follow-up, that's not really hitting right now. Ninjas in Pyjamas have not gotten into the back lines. The kills have been in these giant turret dives where Gamers 2 overstays. But the ones for Dragon, the sieges that Gamers 2 want, they're always positioned well. They always disengage properly. They're not getting caught out on. So unless NIP keeps forcing the issue...
It's kind of like what CLG currently does in NALCS. They're playing the objective game. They look like they're down in kills, but
doesn't matter.
Even or up in gold because they're playing the map perfectly. There's still a turret for them to take of those tier 3, and Baron is actually being done right now by J4 and Twitch.
Ko's taking a lot of damage to this one. This is actually a very risky attempt here. I think they can get it, but I think they need more help. I'm not sure this Baron actually gets taken
here. They come in right now
I don't
start helping it.
Yeah, they need help. Yeah, they 100% need help.
They're going to go ahead, zone them, and go to it. This is where it looks like you just started it.
Someone he'll burn, and there comes Exile to take this up. Voidal's there as well. This should be enough, and there we go. Baron now will go to NIP.
Gamers 2 gets tipped off about it, but they get tipped off about it when it's already low. That's a big thing there. If you start it with 2 members that can tank it for a while, and then you come and reinforce at the right time, basically it almost looks like they did a 5-second Baron. It's like, how did they do that?
Yeah.
Oh, they were doing it the entire time.
Yeah, so very well earned by Ninjas and Pyjamas. That buys them a huge respite here where they can regen against the Javelins. They've got the combat stats to go for an all-in here, and it's a really big deal. The one thing this doesn't give them, though, is actual tank stats, which is something that it seems they're lacking. Yuki's so big, he destroys Ko every fight. That is the only armor tank on the team, and Yuki's ahead of the curve here.
Yeah, absolutely. At 250 CS with the kill. Looking for more. He's going to go for, looks like it's going to be possibly Last Whisper next item. Try and just go through all that armor that he's built for himself. And like you said, ahead of the curve. So Ko, he's struggling right now. And Freeze, he went for that mid-game bursty build with the Yumus, but nobody's getting caught out. They've seen it once. Hopefully they don't see it again. They're playing completely grouped up and against that.
And look how much Freeze is relying on his teammates for damage. He got an Alacrity enchantment as well to his boots. I think to dodge Javelins a little bit better. It also lets him cover more distance during stealth for picks. So it's very utility focused. Again, the Negatron Cloak also.
Also the fact he didn't get an attack speed item like PD or Shiv.
Yeah.
So he's lacking.
Well, he's trying ulti pop. Ocelot forced away, losing a lot of health for this one. More CC coming down, and so far, it's pretty good for NIP. They dealt some damage, but now Ko is stuck under the turret, flayed backwards as well. He's got nowhere to go here. Gets some heals, gets some shield, but a lot of health lost.
A lot of health lost there from Ko. They have the Baron buff for some regen, but he's most likely forced back now, or he'll have to do a camp and shield himself and just get a little bit back from doing damage with his Elder Lizard. Because that was really well played by Gamers 2 to disengage, but Ocelot was immediately out of the fight and blew his flash and heal.
Yeah, so that is Summoner Spells burn at the very least, which is a good thing for Ninjas and Pyjamas. Next time they catch Ocelot, he might actually go down if Dude can't lantern him out there. And looks like Ninjas and Pyjamas, though, they will take some time to heal Ko back up. He gets a no magic mantle and a ward.
I actually want to point this out, too. The synergy between Lucian and Nidalee. Lucian fixes the wave clear problem when you're being sieged. Because all the minions are lined up, you just Piercing Light, Light Slinger, and Ardent Blaze, and you're perfectly fine, the wave is gone. Or you can Culling. Whereas Nidalee, you want to stay out of Cougar form. You want to stay as far back as possible and just poke. So he's not the mid laner that's involved in the wave clear. He's got his bases covered.
He's doing a good job of this one, honestly. Gamers 2 have been pretty well reserved, though. Ninjas and Pyjamas are right now trying to make this top lane fight work, the mid lane fight, I should say. And they're still trying with what they can, dodging javelins left and right. But the wards keep coming out for Gamers 2 to prevent all this. Thing is, though, NIP owns the jungle right here. These jungle fights, not easy for G2 to win, especially without wards. And so these guys are simply taking away all the buffs, sneaking in with Twitch and whatnot, and just looking for that occasional pick. And as soon as they get one, they can open up the map.
Oh, he's going to get the attack speed bonus. He's going to use the Yumus to get the turret because he caught them while they were rotating. Granted, their bottom tier 2 is actually going to take a lot of damage here because there's a minion wave from Gamers 2 pushing there. We're going to have to see, because now Gamers 2, they have to defend this top lane, and we saw how sneaky Freeze could be. They're going for Ko.
Big damage on Ko. They're going to keep him in this fight. He's got a flash rate from that one, and the Braum ulti comes by as well. Now the fight has begun, but Voidal just tanks all the damage, the entire culling without barely losing any health. Exiles, I think that's his clone. Yeah, waiting.
25 gold.
25 gold for Yuki. Not the, not as much as the normal kill would be, but they stay safe on that one. And you can see, right, Gamers 2 forced to play reactive to NIP, which was always how the fights were working for the red team, was when they chose to make the battles, they could get something out of it.
Yeah, and now they just have all these siege options for both teams. But it's mostly pick and rotation from NIP. They can push up mid and then rotate to a tier 2, but they have to push the waves out, and it's very telegraphed, because Alex Each has a lot of gold right now. He actually has a ton of gold. He's trying to become that threat, but it's Lulu, just more of a supportive role. And Freeze, he's going for Ocelot here. Can he do it? He has the blade.
Good bit of damage. That could be enough for the Cocoon. The heal won't come in time. Nicely picked up there. Exile with the Q from long range takes him down. Level 14. And Ninjas and Pyjamas, the stealth, the Twitch engages is actually what's turning this game.
Ninjas and the Jammies are coming up right now. Look at that. Freeze getting the assassination that he's wanted all game long since buying the Blade of the Ruined King and the Yumus. He's like, now I can get more items. Whoa, he's on the other side of the hook.
Doesn't quite land. That was really close, though. He had to get behind him, and that would have been probably death for the guy.
Hashtag LeBlanc mechanics.
Hit behind the Thresh. Good choice. All right, he's going to stay safe then for now. And let's see.
Dragon's up. They might make a move for that here from NIP, or they might bait them into that area.
Exactly what you want.
The fact that They have a Nidalee though, but Nidalee's just respawned. It's right to do it immediately instead of bait.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to stick around.
At this stage, you don't really bait dragons anyway. You pretty much just go for them hardcore because they die so fast. So smart move, NIP. 33 minutes that one goes down, and they're building a bigger and bigger lead. 4,500 gold for these guys. They've certainly played around the poke team quite well. The ability to never get caught out, and to be fair, there's not a lot of like pick from gamers too. It's like Elise and Thresh can land those CCs and turn things around, but NIP have done a very great job of holding wards up the entire time. They haven't face checked almost anything, at least nothing fatal, and they're managing to find these openings to just barely squeak in enough damage.
Yeah, and I was talking earlier about how they've been prioritizing magic resistance to the point that Morden goes straight for the entire locket. You know, it's the standard build on Elise for CDR to get the Cocoon cooldown, but at the same time, no armor to deal with Freeze. The only person is JWoww. So he's just going to have the time of his life if he gets on any of these other targets. Except for Yuki. Yuki can probably duel him right now. It'd actually be very close.
Yeah, something
very
unpredictable,
close.
For sure, but...
Those 80 carry showdowns we see so much of.
Yeah. Ooh, Alex, he steals the big golem. Nicely played. Well done. He had the time of his life for that one. Gets that kill picked up, and now Ko.
He got creep jacked.
He did. He did. It got stolen right from under his nose. Poor Shyvana. And now Ko is going to see, you know what? Maybe someone's going to come gank top lane. Waits around in the brush. You never know. He's playing a low percentage gank, but not much chance of failure, so it's okay. And right now they're giving this gold to Freeze. He's not bought anything in a long time. He didn't want to sell his Doran, so he's just waiting for enough money to finally now buy Last Whisper. That will be a nice power spike. He's already got the flat pen from the Youmu's.
He's got more gold than Yuki now.
Yeah, he's finally by 30.
Yeah.
But it's enough. It counts.
It counts.
It counts.
I'm not wrong.
You are not wrong. No.
A lot of it's put into the Negatron cloak, though.
It's true. In terms of offensive combat stats, gold.
Yeah.
Until he spends that $1,000 right there in inventory. Freeze, we'll see how it goes out. But yep, there comes the recalls. Last Whisper is done. So Freeze will be very, very, very good at shredding squishy targets. His contaminate damage is going to be ludicrously high. And again, you talked about Morden not buying any armor. Actually, the Elise will lose a lot of health too, because you got Ruin King against someone who's getting more health than armor. So pretty much anyone that he hits is going to be under a lot of stress here.
Yeah, he was basically covering his options, because it's just a matter of time before they build armor that he wants to be ahead of the curve, so that the armor that you buy is less effective against him. That's really the only person you would buy armor to be against right now. It's just such a high magic damage comp. We're seeing it right there.
We're seeing it go off. Wood on the half HP, but there comes the engage. Ko wants Ocelot, who's forced to get away. Gets the Lantern, though. Keeps himself safe. Nice ulti from Yuki as well. Morden very, very low as well, though. In NIP, they were just able to force their way into these fights, and it always forces gamers 2 out.
Yeah, we still see that Ko has his Cataclysm. He almost has his Flash, too. And this blue buff, it might be the first blue buff to go to Gamers 2 for a while. They haven't gotten the last 2 or 3.
But finally, Ocelot gets control of his own jungle, at least a little bit, and the blue buff goes over to the Nidalee. And this could actually really hurt NIP's plans, where you finally got the infinite javelin spam. That could be just what these guys need. Exile goes for a bit of damage, does find someone to dude, but blue buff Nid, of course, can heal. He's maxed it out by this point. Traps can come down easily as well, and you're seeing the vision game now around Baron.
Yeah, they're just trying to play this out. Alex ends up backing. He's 2 levels up over JWoww right now. Completes the Lich Bane for himself, going for even more damage. Blind Hook doesn't hit Ko.
Ko knows that dude was around, but I mean, it's pretty much to be expected. Of course, that team's going to wait around there. But look at this. NIP going to start pushing up the mid lane. Someone will have to react to that. It's going to be JWoww for now.
And Thresh has just been the bane of NIP so far. They would have had a lot more catches if it wasn't for that Thresh. So it's a great pick there by Dude, and he plays that really well, not using the Lantern unless he has to.
Imagine if you got an assist for using the Lantern just by saving someone. It's like a negative kill assist, and it like counts for gold somehow. He would have like 70 assists this game. The 100 KD would be back.
Alex, he's looking for steal. He creep jack. Nope.
Does not quite land that in time. You actually should have QE'd, made them hit at the same time instead of trying to EQ that one. But still well done. And actually, the thing is, Yuki would know he was there because the other lizard was shooting at him. Like the little mini list on the side. But, you know, either way, it goes over to the Lucian, so the jungle did go to Gamers 2 here. Dragon not yet up, fairly soon, I believe. And then Pyjamas still trying to control Baron one more time. They got the first one earlier on in the game. And they're taking a very slow and controlled approach, knowing that one mistake, and if they give Gamers 2 a foothold, it's a never-ending siege.
Just got himself that turret. He's going to be able to push up even more right now. We're going to Gonna have to see these dueling JWoww. He's actually chunking JWoww down quite a bit.
Yeah. E auto attack with Lichbane is a whole bunch of pain that JWoww can't really react to here. Alex is playing this fight exceptionally well. Yeah,
JWoww,
Lichbane, he kills turrets.
JWoww just backs up because he needs to be able to be healthy for this fight. Gets himself a little more HP with the Giant's Belt. Bilgewater Cutlass also in the works. Now they're just going to shove top.
Both teams pushing. NIP goes top lane, while actually Gamers2 is forced to react to that. And instead of pushing mid, they've got to defend this one on the left-hand side of the map. Javelins come out, but here comes the damage. They could push this one down very, very quickly, but Ko's got to be careful. He pulled aggro, and Freeze actually has to back out. He doesn't get the damage down. Hook nearly lands. Exile shows up against Cocoon. This could be bad. Voidal shows up. Good damage comes through, but there's the engage. Yuki's on the wrong side of this fight. He's trying to put what damage down he can. Javelins hit minions there, but there goes the engage. Voidal in the front lines taking what he can. JWoww forced to flash away, and the battle is still going on. Hook's going to catch up, and Voidal goes down. That is one kill picked up. Exile on the back line's also extremely low, and Morden stays safe. Ko takes a javelin, and Gamers2 win that fight, and they got big health bars left.
So 1 for 0, but Freeze, he hasn't had enough just yet. Oh, skidding around.
Without ulti, he can't.
Yeah, he was way too close. He had flash still available, but there's always the chance of a cocoon.
Yeah, you can't do that one in that case, not with your support gone. And actually, Voidal hasn't gone for Mikhail's either, so there's actually no cleanse on the team at all for that kind of effect. Gamers2 now setting up around Baron, and of course, NIP missing all their ultimates. I mean, it's risky, but I could see Gamers2 trying this.
They're going to go for it. There's enough range here. Ko doesn't have his flash available. He has the smite. Alex is off on the side, though. He's going to try to get vision of this.
Ko does have smite. It will be a potential smite ward there. Javelin, the E comes out. He knows about this.
They're going to disengage off long Alex.
Uh-oh, big damage off on Alex, and now the standard has dropped down, but the re-engage do take some damage, but they get the kill onto Freeze. He goes down, and they re-engage for the fight. Exile forced back. Hook is going to pull in Jarvan a little bit, but not too terribly much. Gamers2 only get 1 kill for their troubles, though. Looks like that's all they're going to get for this one, just backing out. This is probably the best NIP could have hoped for.
Yeah, they stop the Baron. They lose Freeze, though. Freeze still had flash, still had heal available, and now they're going to go straight back to the Baron right now. And there really isn't much that NIP can do. They can attempt again, but that'll actually...
JWoww.
Oh, wow.
He was in the wrong spot there. Ocelot also does not have blue buff.
That's going to force them off immediately. They can't do it without their main tank.
Nope. It's a big wave bot as well that someone's got to recall and grab right here, which gives so much time for NIP to push every single lane out, wrest complete control over the Baron wards one more time, and set up for sort of round 2 on this one.
And now they can go for the Dragon, they can go for the Baron, get themselves these safe wards that they need. So many sweepers all across the map now.
Yeah, look how deep Voidal's able to ward. He has no help at all. There's no one around him, and he walks all the way past the Wraith camp, knowing that G2 all recalled back to base. They're all on the wrong side of the map to stop him. So with 1 ward, he makes Baron safe, leaving the rest of his Sightstone charges and the rest of his team's effort can be spent towards the top side of the map, the western side of the map, to set up Baron.
They get themselves another Dragon right now. Just even more gold over to NIP. At that 6k gold lead. Now, another Lantern from Dude, saving his team. Another Thresh assist.
Another Thresh assist. It's unofficial. Doesn't count for anything, but we know.
Yeah.
Your teammates know as well. Dude, you're getting props for throwing lanterns. But now, it's time for NIP, right? 4 sweepers. 2 of them has been paid for as Oracle sweepers. Oracle's lenses, I should say.
Yep.
And they're actually, wow, starting up on Baron without complete ward coverage is the thing. They actually missed one of them. Dude does not quite get caught. The ulti lantern as well doesn't do too much, but now the play in Ko in the front lines. But Dude takes all his health bar. He goes down 1 for 0 so far. Twitch was able to deal damage to the backline. Voidal staying safe to a summon or heal. Javelin still coming out. Yuki doing a bit more damage, but just forcing the disengage. The 1 for 1 actually, Ko did fall down in that fight. Gamers do have the health bar lead.
Ocelot
they look for
overextends.
Ocelot though. Big damage comes through. Force of flash away for that one. But now Alex did push the Glitter Lance down as well, keeping the team back.
Yeah, you have to keep them back right now because Gamers2 have their jungler, whereas NIP does not. NIP don't think they're going to go for a Baron anytime soon. Way too risky at this point in the game.
All right, these guys trading things so much back and forth. Ko, I'm surprised he went Hex Drinker there. I don't agree with him getting more damage there. Banshees, I mean, Spectre's Cows what he could afford right now, and that would have been more durability for that fight right there. And think about it, again, you are the main tank. You can't build damage. That's not okay, basically. Locket starting now for Voidal. He's got the Aegis already to try to help the team out. NIP still waiting around trying to stop this one, but Gamers2 wanting to push this down. big damage, of course, from Yuki. 4 completed big AD items. The culling as well, putting some good damage down, and they're still trying for this one. Jungler has just now respawned, but there's no smite yet in range for NIP. G2 still trying. Alex Hitch comes by. Freeze looking for the flank as well. This is going to be very close. Goes in for Yuki. Big damage. Baron's picked up, but there comes the fight. Alex Hitch in the back lines cannot kill Yuki. He stays alive, actually, and Freeze forced away. Exhausted. JWoww chasing him down. The kill picked up by Morden. 2 for 0, plus Baron. Huge for Gamers 2.
Gamers 2 are coming up really big right now off the tankiness of JWoww. You can't deal with him. And also the fact that Freeze, he's basically been going even with Yuki. Yuki is such a huge, consistent damage threat that hasn't escaped. If you catch Freeze, he's done for. They took complete advantage of the fact that they had caught Koa. They're going to turn this game around right now and make it basically even, but have more combat stats. They're going for this inhibitor turret.
They've still got 30 seconds of the respawn. This is a 5 versus 3. They can go for so much right here. Plus a cannon wave is there, which means they're going to get the inhibitor. They've got 25 seconds to go for the Nexus on top of that one. That could be the goal here for Gamers 2. They are still trying. 20 seconds till the respawns. There's the minion line. Turret number 1 goes down. They're going for turret number 2 now as well. JWoww takes a lot of damage. Ignite is on. He takes a shield though, and Ko re-engages the first turret. The second turret now also dead. JWoww forced away. He goes down. The 1 for 0. The respawn's coming right now, but they're hitting the Nexus. Gamers 2 trying to close the game out. They're going to do it. The series is now tied 1-1.
And they're still down in gold, down in kills because they played the map, the objective game.